Hi dear friends and subscribers, welcome to the Cricket Happening Show today. And in this part of the Cricket Happening Show, we are going to look at how West Indies finished off the tour of Australia with a consolation win under the belt when they beat this reserve talent Australian team in the final T20 match. In fact, there was a solitary T20 which was played, and West Indies return home today after defeating Australia. So at least they will have the satisfaction that they have at least one win under their belt as they return home. Well, and also another historic thing happened is 1997 was the last time that West Indies had defeated Australia in Australia. So that was another historic moment for West Indies. I mean, that is almost 15 years since West Indies have ever beaten Australia in a game, and this was something that West Indies would be pretty relieved about, I would say. Well, and the other thing that we would look at tomorrow, tomorrow is the 14th of February. We all know it's a Valentine's Day, and on Valentine's Day, Pakistan take on South Africa in their second test here at the Newlands cricket ground at Cape Town. And also we will look at how the Australia board versus board presidents 11 match panned out on the second day. Well, so let's start off with the only T20 which was played between Australia and West Indies, and it was West Indies who actually batted first, with West Indies winning the toss, and West Indies made 191 for 6 of their 20 overs. Chris Gayle, well, he played yesterday, but once again he was a failure as he tried to actually pull Josh Hazlewood and top edged the ball, and Nathan Coulter-Nile actually took the catch, and he was gone for 8 of 7 balls. Johnson Charles played a good hand. He was the highest scorer. In fact, he continued his good form that he had in the previous international, where he scored a maiden one-day international century, and today he scored a 50. In fact, he scored 57 runs of 35 balls with 7 fours and 1 6. So that was a good knock from him. Even though Chris Gayle failed, Johnson Charles was there in the party, and he really made that count. The Darren Bravo made 32 of 27 balls with 3 fours. Kieron Pollard gave good company with a 26 of 17 balls with 2 fours and 1 6. Dwayne Bravo made only 13 of as many balls. Andre Russell contributed an unbeaten 23 of 11 balls with 3 fours. But Darren Sammy, who actually spoiled James Faulkner's figures. James Faulkner had bowled well till such time, but Darren Sammy in the final stages really spoiled Faulkner's figures by cracking him for 2 sixes. In fact, Darren Sammy was a victim of Faulkner, out for 20 of 7 balls with 1 4 and 2 6. And finally, Nasim Dinaran was not out on 6, and West Indies had put up a score of 191 for 6 of 20 overs. So one could say that every batsman actually contributed there, and then Johnson Charles in particular making that very good 57 to his name. Clint McKay, 4 overs cost him 44 runs. He was the most costliest bowler yesterday. Josh Hazlewood, 4 overs, 1 for 36. Unfortunate, Josh Hazlewood normally is a very good economical bowler, as we have seen him in the Australian Domestic League. Also, we saw him in the Champions League T20 matches. But yesterday he leaked runs, 36 runs coming off his bowling with 1 wicket to show. James Faulkner, as I said, he had his figures absolutely disturbed by Darren Sammy cracking those sixes. 4 overs, no maiden, 3 for 28 for James Faulkner. Coulter-Nile, 4 overs, 36 runs on 1 wicket, and Ben Cutting bowled 4 overs, which also cost him 43. So he was on the same plane as Clint McKay. As far as Australia were concerned, chasing 191, this reserve talent Australian team were restricted by the West Indians to 164 for 8. Aaron Finch was out cheaply for 4. Sean Marsh made 21 of 19 deliveries with 1 6. Adam Vokes was the highest scorer. He played very well. He played some very good strokes, and he seems to be growing in confidence after that maiden one-day international century. He contributed 51 before being run out of 33 balls with 2 fours and 2 sixes. George Bailey, the captain, 15 of 11 balls with 2 fours. Ben Rohrer, of whom much was expected, because he's typically a very good batsman in Australian domestic circles, but he disappointed by making only 16 of 14 balls with 1 6. Brad Haddin made 22 of 11 balls with 1 4 and 2 6. Other than that, there was nothing. It was some very good bowling from the West Indian bowlers. In fact, there were debuts for T20 debuts for Nathan Coulter-Nile, Josh Hazlewood and Ben Rohrer of Australia, and Tino Best from West Indies made his debut. Now they made 164 for 8. Tino Best 3 overs cost him 19 runs. Darren Sammy 3 overs 30 runs and 1 wicket, but Sunil Narine, as I said, he has been the feature for the West Indies. Even though West Indies are having a tough time in Australia, I think Sunil Narine has really stood out as the only bowler who has really penetrated through this Australian lineup and also kept the Australian batsmen in check. And Sunil Narine bowled 4 overs, no more than 2 for 19. He actually piled on the pressure by bowling pretty tightly, so the Australian batsmen had to really attempt strokes at all the other bowlers, and that really led to their demise. Andre Russell 1 over for 9 runs. Dion Ryan was very costly, 3 overs for 37. Bravo none for 17. Kieron Pollard putting up an all-round performance there after making 20. In fact, he was named man of the match. One would have thought probably Johnson Charles would have been the man of the match, but the adjudicators went for Kieron Pollard. The reason being he contributed 26 runs, and then with the ball too, he did well. 4 overs, no more than 3 for 30, and his fielding is always a plus, as you know. Nathan Coulter was not out on 16 of 11 balls. He tried his best with 2 sixes, but that was it. Australia losing the match by 27 runs, and as I said, Kieron Pollard was named man of the match. So that is as far as that match is concerned. So West Indies return home after, but at least they would have the consolation that they have at least one win under the belt after playing 5 One Day International where they got swamped 5-0, and at least they won the solitary T20 match. Now let's go on to the brief preview of the Pakistan versus South Africa game coming up tomorrow. That is the second test. South Africa with their tails up because they are already one up in the series, and in fact they had the wood on Pakistan in the first test match, and the second test is going to be played at Cape Town in Newlands. Now what is going to be seen as we know that Pakistan are definitely under pressure, but Pakistan have one thing under their favor. This is not going to be a pitch which is and well, it is going to be starting on first it is going to be starting on Valentine's Day, that is of 14th of February. So no love will be lost for sure between both the teams, and South Africa will be, in fact, let's talk about Pakistan first, what they are going to do. Now for Pakistan, one thing is that they have an opportunity to square the series, but let me tell you, South Africa have a very good record in this particular venue. They have I'm told that Pakistan have lost every time they have played South Africa in Cape Town, so that is not good news. But Pakistan would be pretty happy with the fact that they are not going to be faced with a pitch which is really going to assist all the pace bowlers. Dale Steyn was the one who swarmed around Pakistan in the first test match, but that is not going to happen. But again, if the South African bowlers could actually extract life out of it, that would be great. We know bounce would be there because South African pitches are always bouncy. Now for Pakistan, they have injury problems. Junaid Khan, their main bowler, is a doubtful starter because and that is not good news for Pakistan, because Junaid Khan, I thought he's the man who bowls with lots of pace, moves the ball both ways, and every time you feel like he can take a wicket. But if he's not there, that is going to be I'm sure it is going to cripple Pakistan. But one good thing that could happen would be Mohammad Irfan could be inducted, the tall 7 years, so he will become the tallest bowler in Test cricket ever to grace the Test cricket scene. So Mohammad Irfan, I was really surprised, as I said, in the first Test match that he was dropped. I'm very happy if Mohammad Irfan comes in place of Junaid Khan. It will be good to see how Mohammad Irfan can do, because it is not going to be a pitch which is going to really help the pace bowlers. But it would be good to see Mohammad Irfan. Mohammad Irfan is coming on some good performances against the emerging Cobras 11, even though the team didn't have much of, I wouldn't say much recognized batsmen there, but still Mohammad Irfan bowled well in that particular match, taking 7 wickets. So he would be longing to have a crack at the South African batsman. So that is one thing. So Pakistan have problems. With Junaid Khan not there, it's absolutely crippled, because Umar Gul will have to share the new ball with Mohammad Irfan. Then Saeed Ajmal is there. Saeed Ajmal is, he's a world-class spinner. And then the Pakistani batting has to really come, because this is a pitch which would definitely help the batters. So basically what Pakistan needs to do is Pakistan needs to put up a good score on the board. They need to negotiate the bowlers well and put up a good score on the board, and then see whether they can put some pressure on South Africa. So that's what would be important. So the bowlers wouldn't have much here, but the spinners would definitely do, because there will be some bounce, and Saeed Ajmal would be a very prime factor for Pakistan. And as far as Pakistan batting is concerned, the Pakistan batting has to really do something, because it is really strong on paper. Mohammad Hafiz, Nasir Jamshed, Azhar Ali, Yunus Khan, Misbah-ul Haq, Asad Shafiq, Sarfraz Ahmed, the wicketkeeper. But what is required? You need to put runs on the board to put the pressure on the South Africa. And South Africa, I know they would like to keep up their winning ways and keep up that proud record that they have at Newlands in Cape Town. Well, they're there. I mean, nothing to say about Graham Smith, the captain. Absolutely, he will be on a real high there. Alvaro Peterson, Hashim Amla, Jack Scully. Jack Scully is having lots of runs on this particular pitch. A.B. de Villiers, and even South African batting is also pretty strong. Faf du Plessis, Dean Elgar, and they are pretty strong. And as far as the South African bowling is concerned, well, I wouldn't be surprised if Dale Steyn, Moy Morclan, Vernon Philander, and especially in Vernon Philander, could extract life out of a lifeless pitch like this and really make things tough for the Pakistani batsmen. And I'm told there might be a rain which would be marring the proceedings there, and probably we are not going to have a prompt start to the second test match here at Newlands in Cape Town. There might be a delayed start. That's what the news is. But so next what I'm going to do is, since I have only 5 minutes left on this YouTube broadcast, very quickly we are going to talk about the tour game which was played yesterday. As you know, the Australians were bowled out for 241, but today Canadian Port President's 11 were also bowled out for 230, so thus conceding a slender 11-run lead. For Indian Board President's 11, there were a lot of players, the hopefuls playing there. Abhinav Mukund made only 21 with 2 boundaries. Robin Uthappa made only 24 with 3 boundaries. Mandeep Singh is a very promising player. He did well in the IPL last year, but well, he failed here. He was out for 3. Ambati Rayudu was the one who really played very well, used the feet to the spinners. It was very good to see such a talented batsman from, as you know, he plays for Mumbai Indians in the IPL, and he made a very wonderful 87 with 9 fours and 3 sixes. He got good support from Parvez Rasool. Now Parvez Rasool, yesterday he did it with the ball, taking 7 wickets, and today he showed his all-round prowess by making 36 runs with 4 fours and 1 6. So that is something which is very good. So this match is really turning out to be something that Parvez Rasool will definitely love, because he's been contributing with the bat, he has been contributing with the ball, and that is something that is to be very it's a point of note for everybody there. And Parthiv Patel made 23 with 3 boundaries. Stuart Binney was out for 5. Shami Ahmed made 14. And as far as the Australian bowlers were concerned, after yesterday the Australian batsmen failed. Today the bowlers, well, it was Moises Henriques who bowled pretty superbly. 9.3 overs, 3 minutes, 12 runs and 4 wickets. 3 wickets for Nathan Lyon was very costly. As I said, Ambati Rayudu and Parvez Rasool and other batsmen were really making hay while the spinners were bowling, but still Nathan Lyon happened to capture 3 wickets for 69 runs, 13 overs. He had no maidens in his bowling there. Peter Siddle, 11 overs, 3 minutes, none for 28. James Pattinson, 1 for 24. So basically the pace bowlers were not much affected. There was only 1 wicket for the pace bowler, as what happened in the previous, when Australia batted. The similar thing happened here. And as far as Australia were concerned, they just had a knock there. They just played 4 overs and they were 15 for no loss at close of play. So, well, dear fans, friends and subscribers, I think Australia, well, they would definitely like to do well with the bat, put up a much better score than what they put up in the first innings, and they might like to have a good knock before the test match starts. Well, dear fans, friends and subscribers, I don't have anything else to share right now. I'm ending my Cricket Happening show for today. Thanks for your patience in watching this Cricket Happening show day in and day out. Thanks once again, and have for yourself a wonderful day. Thank you.